All right, so tonight we're going to be diving into Blagg Cemetery
Ooh.
in Siloam Springs, Arkansas.
Okay.
From what I've been reading about it, it's pretty small
Okay.
and pretty unassuming, but there's a lot of local legends
Mm-hmm.
and spooky stories around it.
I love it.
Yeah, so it should be a good one. We've got a pretty interesting mix of sources for this one too.
Yeah.
We've got a blog post from a cemetery enthusiast.
Okay.
There's a thread on a forum where people were talking about haunted locations.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is my favorite. We have a YouTube video from some paranormal investigators.
Oh, wow.
So
Very cool.
yeah, it should be a good time.
That's awesome. I love that we have like the historical record and then the like
Right.
kind of the spooky folklore
Yeah.
all mixed in together.
Exactly.
That's gonna be fun.
It's going to be cool to see what we can find out, about
Yeah.
what's documented and then what people are saying.
Right.
So yeah, let's jump right in, I guess.
That sounds good.
So we'll start with this blog post.
Uh-huh.
It's called Escape to the Silent Cities.
Okay.
And this blogger, Canny, she was exploring Blagg Cemetery,
Mm-hmm.
and she came across these 6 unmarked graves that are all right next to each other.
Okay.
They're all inscribed. Member of P. Morgan family, 1818, 1891.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's right next to a marked headstone for Permitter Morgan with the same dates.
That's so creepy.
Yeah.
It's like, who are these
It's-
people? Like, why are they
Well,
not named?
Exactly.
So strange.
It's so weird. And, I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, maybe they're just like, children that died or something.
Right, right.
But they're right next to Permitter Morgan's
Yeah.
headstone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really strange.
And in the comments, a lot of people are speculating like, oh, maybe they were miscarriages or maybe like unknown children or something like that.
Right.
And the blogger, Tammy, actually, she did some research and she found that Permitter and Margaret Morgan, they had 11 children.
Okay.
Several of them did die in infancy,
Huh.
and they have marked headstones.
Okay.
But these 6, we don't know who they are.
Wow, that's so bizarre. It's giving me chills.
Yeah, it's creepy for sure.
Yeah.
And it kind of sets the stage for this whole
Right.
cemetery, right?
Totally. Yeah.
Like, is this just a tragic family story,
Mm-hmm.
or is it something weirder?
Yeah. Or is it something more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's move on to this forum discussion.
Okay.
It's called Haunted Locations, Siloam Springs R.
Okay.
Um,
Catchy.
yeah, very catchy.
I like it.
And there's this one local on there who says that Blagg Cemetery is
Yeah.
insanely creepy at night.
Oh.
And then there's another person who says they always feel weird driving by,
Uh-huh.
especially on this one back road that goes past it.
That's creepy.
And they say they're like 50-50 on whether they would go at night.
Oh, I see.
So, pretty creepy.
Yeah.
And then someone else chimes in and they're like, oh yeah, and there's this rumor that a witch is buried there.
What?
Yeah, just like out of nowhere.
A witch?
Yeah, they don't say who it is or where or anything like that.
Wow.
It's just like this rumor.
That is so creepy.
Yeah, it's like this extra layer of
Yeah.
spookiness.
Yeah, and it all just kind of ties together. It
Yeah,
makes you wonder if that's why those people felt weird driving by.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe that's tied into the 6 graves too.
Ooh.
Like maybe it's all connected somehow.
Ooh, that's interesting.
So this leads us perfectly to our last source,
Oh.
YouTube video.
Oh, right.
It's from this channel called Mystery Mobberly.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of them?
I have not, no.
Okay, well, it's these 2 guys, and they go to different places, and they investigate them at night.
Oh, cool.
And they've got an EMF reader and a spirit box.
The classic ghost hunting tool.
I know, right?
I love it.
And, they're pretty funny. One of them says, ghosts are in fact robots.
Okay.
And he calls their video very stupid.
So they're not taking themselves too seriously?
Exactly.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's lighthearted, but then they're like,
Yeah.
we're not going to fake any evidence.
Okay.
So it's like you're walking this line between
Right.
skepticism and genuine curiosity, which I like.
I like that.
So anyway, they go to Blagg Cemetery at night.
Mm-hmm.
And right away, they come across all these child graves.
Oh.
Yeah, and they start talking about like polio and smallpox and all these
Wow.
diseases that were
Yeah.
prevalent back then.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's a reminder that, cemeteries are full of these stories of loss.
Right.
Especially back then when, infant mortality was so high.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it makes you wonder, if that's part of the reason why people feel creeped out
I mean, no, totally.
by these places.
Yeah, like maybe it's not ghosts.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the echoes of all these, sad events that
But anyway, so they keep exploring, And they find the 6 unmarked Morgan graves. And they're just like completely confused. They're like, how could 6 people in the same family die at basically the same age and be buried together?
Yeah.
And be unnamed?
Like, how is that even possible?
I know, right? It's like that mystery from the blog post just got amplified 1,000 times.
Totally. Yeah.
So then they decide to go looking for the witch's grave.
Okay.
Remember that rumor from the forum?
Right, yeah.
But get this. The grave was apparently stolen.
Stolen?
Yeah, like someone took it.
What? Like the whole...
Yeah, like the whole headstone is gone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they think it happened around 2016, 2017.
That is so weird.
I know, right? Like, who steals a grave?
Yeah, like, why? Who would do that?
I know.
That's so strange.
It makes you wonder if there was something special about that grave.
Yeah, like, why that one?
I know.
That's so bizarre.
And as they're, walking around, they start to feel that creepy vibe that those people on the forum were talking about.
Oh, no.
They talk about this one creepy tree that everyone mentions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then their car door locks start going crazy.
Oh, my gosh.
And then, get this, one of the guys claims he sees a misty figure with a distorted face.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on.
Okay, hold on. So they were using the EMF reader and the spirit box?
Yeah. So they were using the EMF reader, trying to, pick up on any electromagnetic fluctuations. And they were using the spirit box to try to...
see if they could talk to communicate, yeah.
Okay. And they didn't get anything.
No, not really. They had a few little blips on the EMF reader, but nothing crazy.
Okay.
And then they got, like, some...
weird sounds on the spirit box, but nothing that,
nothing that, like, made sense.
you could really decipher.
Right.
But overall, the mystery's still there.
Totally.
They didn't have any definitive paranormal experiences.
Yeah.
But
it's still creepy.
It's still super creepy.
Yeah.
And the mystery of those 6 Morgans.
Right.
It's still, like, lingering.
It's like the main takeaway from this whole thing so far.
Totally. It's like, what happened to them?
I know.
And then what happened to the witch's grave?
Right.
Like, it's bizarre.
It's very strange.
Yeah. So we've got this cemetery
Yeah.
that's steeped in local legend.
Mm-hmm.
We've got these 6 unnamed graves
Right.
that are just baffling.
Yeah.
And then we've got this missing witch's grave
Right.
that adds a whole other layer of intrigue.
Totally.
So what do we make of all this?
I don't know. It's a lot to process.
Yeah, it really is.
A lot of weird stuff going on in that cemetery.
Yeah, and I'm really curious to see what else we can find out about it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll be right back.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's like it's holding its breath or something.
Yeah.
Like it's keeping all its secrets.
Totally. And thinking about those 6 Morgan graves,
Yeah.
it's hard not to, like, imagine, all the possibilities.
It's totally.
What if they were, like, victims of some kind of tragedy that we don't even know about?
Right. Or what if they were like, I don't know, ostracized from the family or something?
Ooh.
Like maybe their names were like erased from history.
That's so interesting.
For some reason.
Yeah. And it makes you think about all those stories that we don't know, right?
Right, totally.
Like all those
it's called a hidden story.
hidden stories that are just beneath the surface.
Yeah, exactly.
If those 6 people could talk,
Right.
what would they tell us?
That's a great question. And that's what I love about these cemeteries. It's like they have so much potential to unlock these hidden stories, that could connect us to the past.
Totally. So if we were to go to Blagg Cemetery,
Okay.
what would be the first thing that we would investigate?
That's a good question.
Besides, obviously being respectful and all that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think I'd be drawn to those 6 Morgan graves, Like, I'd want to get up close and see if I could see any subtle variations in the stones or, like, any kind of markings that might give a clue to who they were.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and then I would look around the area just to see if there were any other, like, little, maybe smaller, unmarked graves.
That's actually a good point because in the video,
Yeah.
they mentioned that they saw a bunch of broken headstones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just like scattered around. And it makes you wonder, like, was that just from the elements or was it something else?
Yeah, or was it vandalism?
Right. Was it somebody trying to erase even more history?
Totally. And it's like we keep peeling back at these layers
Right.
And it just leads to more questions.
Yeah, totally. And that's what makes this so fun.
Yeah.
It's not about finding the answer.
Right.
It's about embracing the mystery.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So going back to the Morgans,
Okay.
some of the comments were speculating that maybe those unmarked graves were like miscarriages or stillbirths or something.
Right.
But then I was thinking, wouldn't those have been recorded somehow?
Well, I mean, records back then, especially in rural areas, weren't always, super accurate.
That's true.
And also, back then there was a lot of stigma around certain types of loss.
Right.
So maybe they were just buried in unmarked graves because of that.
So it's possible that they were part of the family.
Yeah.
But their stories were just like
erased. Yeah.
Silence.
For reasons that we'll never know.
Exactly.
And that's so sad,
It is sad.
It makes you think about, like, how much history is out there that we don't know.
Hidden.
Yeah, hidden.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder if maybe someone listening has, like, a connection to Blagg Cemetery. Maybe they have some family history that
would be awesome.
Could shed some light on all of this.
Yeah, if somebody could, like, write in or call. Yeah. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be so cool. Okay, so we've got this cemetery with a creepy reputation.
Yeah.
We've got 6 unnamed graves that are just baffling.
Yep.
And then we've got this missing witch's grave.
Right.
That adds a whole other layer of intrigue.
That whole other layer, yeah.
So where do we go from here?
Well, I mean, I think we've only scratched the surface, you know? There's got to be a lot more information out there.
Yeah, we could look into the Morgan family.
Right.
Try to find some descendants.
Yeah. See if there's any genealogical records.
We could look at, like, historical archives.
Exactly.
See if there are any, like, old newspaper articles or something.
Yeah, and we could also, see if we can find anybody who has, like, personal stories.
That's what I was going to say.
About the cemetery.
Yeah, because those stories from the forum and the video, like, they really
add to it.
Brought it to life.
Yeah, totally.
It's like we could crowdsource the mystery.
I like that.
Right. Get everyone involved.
And who knows, maybe somebody listening has some information that could blow this whole thing wide open.
If we, like, sparked a whole new investigation just by talking about it.
That would be so cool.
That would be so cool.
That's the power of these deep dives. It sparks curiosity.
It really does. I'm, like, genuinely curious now to, like, keep digging. I'm already thinking about, like, how we can expand the research.
Me too. I'm thinking maybe we could reach out to some of the people on that forum.
Yes, exactly.
And see if they have any more info.
I love it. Okay, this is going to be good.
This is going to be good, yeah. Yeah, it really makes you think.
It does, right?
Like, what else is out there?
Yeah, in Blagg Cemetery, I mean.
Yeah.
It just seems to be, like, full of these mysteries.
I know. It's like every corner you turn, there's something else.
Yeah, like the unexplained deaths, the missing witch's grave.
Right.
All those creepy encounters.
It's like a weird, like, tapestry of all these things coming together.
Yeah, the history and the folklore.
Yeah.
They're all mixed up.
It just makes you question everything.
It really does. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I have one final question for you.
All right.
If you were to go to Blagg Cemetery, what would you be most curious to investigate?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, would you try to track down the Morgans? See if you could find any descendants?
Ooh.
Or would you, like, try to solve the mystery of the witch's grave?
Right, or maybe even try to debunk it.
Yeah.
See if it was even real. Or would you just, like, wander around at night and just see what you feel?
Totally.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, I would just wander around at night.
Really?
Yeah. It just seems like that's the best way to experience it.
Yeah, a part of me really wants to dig into the history and try to, like, separate fact from fiction.
Right.
But then another part of me is just drawn to that mystery.
Totally. It's like it's calling us, you know, to come closer.
It's like it wants us to figure it out.
And maybe there are no answers, you know?
Yeah, maybe it's not about finding the answer.
Right.
It's just about experiencing it.
Yeah, just experiencing the mystery.
And the mystery.
Blagg Cemetery. It might be small, but it's definitely full of secrets.
Totally.
And it reminds us that even in the most ordinary places, there can be these extraordinary stories.
It's all around us.
Yeah, it's all around us.
Waiting to be discovered.
Yeah. So keep exploring, keep asking questions.
Keep an open mind.
Yeah, keep an open mind.
Yeah.
Who knows what we might find?
Exactly. The world is full of mysteries.
It really is.
Yeah.